Hey guys. So we're back. I am going to tell you guys how I crowdfunded $20,000 in cash and services in 30 days during a pandemic to raise funds for my first feature film, indie film. Some do's and don'ts that you can use for your campaign. Stay tuned. First of all, let me just be honest. I am so glad it's over. Oh my God, that was the most emotionally draining 30 days of my life. Oh, I'm gonna say emotional roller coaster. I'll put it that way, because my anxiety was like, but I'll get to that. The number one thing is decide on a platform to use. Now, if you guys have been in this film industry, which I haven't, I'm very new to this, then you know there's different platforms you can use. There's Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and others. I decided to use Seed and Spark because first off, I had a friend who told me all about Seed and Spark and how it works and everything. They hadn't tried it yet, so I was actually the first one to try it. But what really made me decide to do Seed and Spark was because of their specialization and focus on filmmakers, independent filmmakers. And also, I love their emphasis on diversity in front and behind the camera. So I love that, and it just seemed like a perfect fit for my story and what I wanted to share with the world. So I decided on Seed and Spark, and the great thing about Seed and Spark also is that they provide this information. Like, you literally get a whole lesson, multiple lessons. Like, you literally go to school to kind of train for your campaign, like literally, and it's free. So it's so amazing. And so that's the first thing I did, was decide on that platform and also take their educational class, which gave me a lot of information and told me what I needed to do in order to get started. And also it gave me the courage to do it. You know, it didn't make it seem so daunting or scary. But it was realistic as well. It was like, you know, the average campaign raises $12,000. Something we definitely need to know, right? So I love Seed and Spark. I think it's amazing. I think that it was definitely the best platform for me. So that's the first thing I would suggest, is select a crowdfunding platform to use. Another great thing about Seed and Spark is that you can raise money in stages. So you can do a campaign for pre-production funds, you can do a campaign for production funds, and you can do a campaign for post-production funds. I think it's just those three, but it might be more than that. But you could break it up in stages, and guess what? You get to keep the same page. So like, if I really wanted to, I could actually just say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do another 30 days for post-production funds. Don't think I'm gonna do that, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. So if you wanna do it that way, so let's say I raise funds for production. If I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna tell you guys my number, by the way, at the very end. But if I was like, you know what, it's really not enough to do the production and cover the post-production, I could always go back and say, hey guys, it's me again. Wait, one more thing. You're also it's gonna tell you to have an email list and make a list of like potential organizations you can team up with. So for example, my film is all about mental health and domestic violence and surviving trauma and things like that. So I could have teamed up with like the American Counseling Association or the American Psychological Association, things like that, that will, like, if there's a combined interest or subject matter. So you definitely want to make a list and get your email list together before you get started. So all that is during the gather information phase, which I would take about a month to just do that specifically. And also you want to go ahead and start reaching out to those organizations. I didn't do that. Definitely something I wish I would have done, but I did get one of my tweets shared by the American Counseling Association. So, I mean, that worked for me. All right, so number 2 is gather all relevant information. Now, if you go with Seed and Spark, again, they're gonna tell you exactly like everything you need. you need a pitch video. And it doesn't have to be super elaborate, but it's gonna detail exactly what you need to do in that pitch video. You're gonna need a bio, like a bio of who you are as the filmmaker or the writer, or creator. You're also gonna need like a synopsis of what the film is about, or the short, or the series, whatever you're trying to film or raise money for. You're gonna need a bio for all of that. So if you're not the writer and you don't know how to write, then you might want to get somebody to help you do that. You'd also need photos, because you need photos to help you tell that story and show your audience what this film is gonna look like. So that's definitely very, very, very important. So gather all of your information before you even get started. Again, like I said, Seed and Spark, with them specifically, I know that they tell you everything you need. So that's the benefit of going with that route. Okay. So not everyone would agree with me on this one, but it worked for me, and if I ever did it again, I would do the same thing. And that is hire a crowdfunding consultant or coach. Honestly, I wouldn't have made it through my campaign if I didn't have my coach. I actually hired Avenida Productions. They're based out of Los Angeles. They are Latino based. They have a specific emphasis and focus, like me, on people of color, and also diversity, and increasing diversity in films and in media. And so I thought it was a perfect match. I just knew it was a perfect match. And also my coach, one of the owners, is Fanny Grande, and she is absolutely amazing. There were days that she would text me and say, "Hey, so what we're doing today?" You know. And I'm like, "Girl, I'm done for the day." And it might be like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, there's nothing left in me. I'm done. I can't do no more. And then she would send me things like ideas or strategies. Like, for example, I made posters that were like, "Hey, help us get to 50 subscribers or 50 contributors today." Things like that would kind of engage the audience. Things that I would have never, ever done on my own. I promise you that. I'm not the type of person who's gonna stand outside with a sign. So that was all her idea, but I'm grateful that I had her, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have gotten through this campaign. So hire a crowdfunding campaign consultant or coach to help you through. They also will help you with the emails, like email lists, reaching out to organizations, things of that sort. Also, if you look back at number 2, I told you guys about the information that you need. So you have to create a campaign profile, and that would include your pitch video, the photos, the film synopsis, and all that stuff. Well, they did that for me. Yes, it's true. They did all of that for me. I didn't do any of that. Only thing I did was film that pitch video, but they told me exactly what I needed to do, as well as Seed and Spark. So again, I wouldn't have made it through without Avenida and Fanny. So I'm just telling y'all that now. I give literally credit to them, seriously, because it just wouldn't have happened. So if I ever did crowdfunding again, I would hire them again, seriously. And I'm grateful they took on my story, because they didn't have to. They're very selective, so they don't have to take your story. They don't have to, collaborate with you. They don't have to. They have clients that are on Netflix. They have clients that are on HBO. They have clients on all these different platforms. So I was just grateful that they were like, "Yeah, we'll do it." I was so grateful. So that's my number 3 is hire a crowdfunding consultant and coach. This is so important. I promise you it is. Number 4, set a realistic number. Okay, let me tell y'all what my first number was. I can laugh about it now, because my first original number was $50,000. Think about it. I had almost, at the time, I have 10K subscribers or followers on Instagram now, but at the time I had about 9,000 and something. 5,000, almost 5,000 on Facebook. I had you guys on here on YouTube, over 1,000 subscribers. I had a long email list. I had emails from my pre-order for my book sales. I got a lot of contacts. I got a big network. So I'm thinking $50,000 is not a lot. Really. But then I had to think about what Seed and Spark taught us in their information. The average campaign raises about $12,000 for a film. Okay, so that's where my crowdfunding coach came in. and we set a realistic number. Realistic, okay? It has to be realistic. It has to be something that's achievable. You know, the SMART goals: specific, measurable, realistic, and timely. I think that's SMART, right? Think that. Focus on that when you're trying to set that number, because of course you need to focus on, okay, what is it going to take for me to actually produce this film or this whatever it is that you're trying to work on, but also how much can I realistically actually raise from my community. Now, let me be real. My film is about mental health and the Black community. That is very taboo in my community, right? It's getting a little bit better, but it's very, very, very taboo. So I had to think, like, not everybody's probably going to jump on board with this subject. It's needed and people recognize that, but are they really going to put their money behind something that they're really not buying into yet? Not yet. So I had to think about that. She helped me set a realistic goal. So that's that. Yeah. Because guess what? You only have 30 days to do this. So, I mean, you want to be successful. You know, you can't think about like, oh, well, this is not enough to actually produce the movie and all that stuff. You really can't think about that. You have to just think about, okay, well, how much can I raise? You know, but also you don't want to not raise enough to the point where you have this money and people have contributed and they're waiting on this film that you said you're going to do, but now you don't have enough to actually make it happen. This one is such a biggie and it's so important. Number 5, the 5th do is, at the end of the day, just remember the end goal. And that's to produce a film. It's to produce a movie. And the reason I tell you is, I'm gonna tell you when I tell you the the don'ts, it's gonna make sense. It'll tie in. Just remember what you're trying to do. Like, every day you get up and you look at your campaign and you look at that number and it's going up or it ain't moved or whatever. Just remember what you're trying to do. Remember the end goal. Think about how you're gonna feel when you get that green light. Just try to tune into that emotion and feeling, like, because you're gonna need it. Trust me. Number 1 don't I have, and I'm trying to tell you, I don't care how great your situation is. Mine isn't that great. I mean, if you read my book, you already know this. But anyway, the number 1 don't I have for you guys: don't rely on family and friends. I think I can stop there, but I'm gonna tell you more. Okay, so that's the reason why you have your email list, because you don't want to, first of all, eventually you're going to tap out of your family and friends. They all are going to contribute or not. And okay, now who else, right? So you want to have an email list or or social media friends, whatever, that you can reach out to beyond your primary circle of like your immediate family and like your group of core friends. You have to have more than that, because if not, it's just not gonna work, because they can only give so much. You're gonna need more than that. And also, at the end of the day, you're crowdfunding to build an audience. It's not just to raise funds. It really is to build an audience. So you want as many people to have eyes on your campaign as possible, because now everybody knows about this movie you're trying to make. You know what I mean? Like, even if they only give $1, now at least you gain another audience member. Right? They're gonna be looking for this movie on Amazon Prime or whatever, or Netflix or BET, whatever, because they're like, hey, I can have $1 for that campaign, so I want to see it when it comes out. So it doesn't really matter about how much money they give. It's about the fact that you just gain another audience member. So don't just rely on your family and friends. I'm gonna tell you, I only had 1 family member contribute, 1 immediate family member contribute. I had 2, but 1 person as part of the declined list at the end. Oh God, like, I could tell you so much more about that part, but like, just because a person contributes, like, they're pledging. It doesn't even come out of their account until the actual last day. So just make sure that your family and friends are actually going to keep the money in the account so that it can actually count towards your final amount. Oh God, like, I'm telling y'all, I'm still recovering, seriously. But again, don't rely just on your family and friends. Expand your network. I'm just saying. Number 2, don't take it personal. Oh my God. I have to remind myself of that every day. It's kind of hard not to, though, right? I mean, think about it. Let's say that you have had this friendship for 20 years, and you're trying to do a movie. You're trying to do a movie about something super special and like a great cause and message behind it. And then, you inbox somebody and then you're like, hey, can you contribute to this campaign? And then they don't. Don't ruin your friendships over this, I'm telling you. But you have to kind of take a second look at it and be like, do you even like me? Because you won't even give me $1. Like, I don't know if you should even be on my friend list anymore right now. I think I should delete you, because you start to have all kind of thoughts. You're like, so, like, what if I was stuck on the side of the road? Would you even come pick me up? Like, what if I ran out of gas? Like, would you even bring me some gas? What if my lights were off? Like, would you even, like, let me stay in the room with you, like, in your house, like, for one night or something? Like, you just start to really question people. You're like, but I'm not trying to go buy a bag. Why wouldn't you support this? Like, I'm telling you, it is so hard not to take it personal, but don't take it personal. Because guess what? Guess what my crowdfunding campaign manager told me? People are busy. She's so sweet. She's very, like, direct and everything, but she's really sweet. People are busy. They have busy lives. And then I had to remember, too, specifically for me, I was crowdfunding during a pandemic, so kind of selfish, Shamanda, for you to be upset with people for not contributing when they're probably scared they may not even be able to pay their bills next month. So, again, you have to take things in perspective. Now, if it wasn't during a pandemic, then you still got to remember that. You thought I was about to say, no. You still have to remember that you cannot take it personal. Everyone has different situations, circumstances. Now, there are people that I literally spent thousands of dollars with them, like on their products and services and stuff, and they didn't even contribute. They saw my post. I know they did because they liked the post, but they didn't give me not even $1. So I had to repeat to myself every day, don't take it personal, Shamanda. Don't take it personal, Shamanda. Because guess what? Maybe they can support you on the back end. Maybe once the movie is out, they can share that or buy a ticket to that, right? And so there's other ways they can support you. And so don't burn bridges just because somebody didn't give you $1 for your movie. I'm telling you, y'all, seriously. And this is me telling you guys this after almost 3 months later. So it took a lot because I was taking it personal, I'm just gonna be honest. But don't take it personal. I'm just saying. Number 3, don't. If you're anything like me, you really don't like asking people for stuff. You're like independent. Don't like asking people for stuff. I just don't. Gosh. Okay, then why would you do a crowdfunding campaign where you're literally asking people for money? Not even to donate a shirt. You're asking for money. I don't know. I'm crazy and I'm invested in this film. I want to see this film made. So I'm gonna step out of my own way and get over my ego, and I'm gonna ask. So that's what I would suggest. Don't be afraid to ask. I don't care. Okay? I don't care who it is. Ask them. It was people that I had never even, they were probably liking my stuff on Instagram and I ain't even looked at their page. I still inboxed them. If I looked at their page and I thought, okay, I think they might give me some money for this movie, I asked them. I don't care if they had literally just followed me. Hello, hi, here I go. I asked. People I really didn't like, I asked. You see what I'm saying? People I knew didn't like me for whatever reason, because I'm pretty likable. I asked. You can't be afraid to ask. You have to put all ego and pride aside to run a successful crowdfunding campaign. But at the end of the day, again, it goes back to another one that I just talked about. Remember the end goal. At the end of the day, for me, this movie is about increasing and destigmatizing mental health and mental illness in the community of like the Black community and people of color in general. That's so much bigger than me and my pride and ego, or like somebody saying, oh, you remember you asked me for $1 last year? Okay, here it goes. What's your cash app? I'll send it back to you, whatever. Like, reaching this goal was bigger than all of that extra stuff that could possibly happen, which hadn't happened. It was just in my mind. So it's like, whatever. Don't be afraid to ask. If you want it, you gotta ask. And there's some Bible verse too, but I can't quote that right now. I'm just saying, don't be afraid to ask. Trust me, it's worth it. Okay. Number 4 don'ts is a big one. Don't crowdfund alone. It's not meant to do alone. Trust me, I learned it the hard way. And now I know, I told y'all I hired a crowdfunding team and consultant, coach, and all that. And just what I'm saying is that was that, but you still need team members. You need people that are with you, like that are like, y'all can go to lunch and be like, oh no, I'm gonna tell you why you need it. So this is why you really need it. So for example, if there's 5 team members, right? I got my network, he or she has her 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 network. I don't even know if that was 5, but I'm just saying. You see what I'm saying? You see how many more people you're gonna reach? Think about that. If they have 10,000 followers on Instagram, that's what, between all 5, 6 of y'all, that's 60,000 people that you can potentially reach to contribute to the film, versus just my network and just me and my coach. Now they do, and I'm sure other coaches do this too, but they do promote your stuff on their page too. But at the end of the day, it's not really their job to put your stuff on their stuff. It's you reaching out to your community, your network. So I would highly suggest to build a team before you get started. I don't care if, like, maybe it's you, your best friend, your brother, your sister, or if you already have it set up, like your film set up, you could say, all the producers, the writer. Yeah, so right, like look at the producer, the director, the writer, the main actor, like the main characters, right? Everybody is part of that crowdfunding team. And you're all sending this information out, reaching out to your own communities. So that's why I take a lot of pride in the fact that I was able to do this with just me. It was just my network. And listen, most people that's on my Facebook page are from my hometown. And so I'm just saying, oh my gosh, we made it to the end. I mean, not that I didn't enjoy being with you guys. I'm just saying, like, these were a lot of tips. And I've been waiting so long to share them with you. I could have gone so much deeper in, like, the actual process. And if you guys want that, I will definitely do that. I'm just trying not to be, like, funny acting. I ain't trying to call nobody out. Like, I'm just trying to keep it strictly professional and just give y'all the real, but not be petty. You see what I'm saying? Because I could have been real petty. And I said, don't take it personal, okay? So yeah, the last don't, the final don't expect your final number to be what you raised. Okay, so let me give you an example. I'm gonna tell you exactly, and I'm gonna put the numbers up here on the campaign page, and I'll post it here. On the campaign page, it says that we raised $21,100. I think that's what it was. I can't remember now. However, that's in cash and services. So this is the thing. With Seed and Spark, people can, and I'm not sure the other ones do this or not, but people can donate their services. So for example, for me, I have a friend that's a hairstylist. So she could loan, and she did loan her time on set as a makeup artist, and that will count toward the whatever you're trying to raise. And I think you could raise up to $3,500 in services, right? Or maybe 15% of whatever the number is, something like that. But so I think that counted as like $1,000 or $1,500, something like that. You see what I'm saying? But instead of us actually paying her the $1,500, she's loaning that toward, counting that toward. So that means that that's money that doesn't have to come out of the campaign money, if that makes sense. So let's say I was at $1,500. Then when she loaned her services, it took our number up to $1,650 or $1,650, you know what I mean? So it's cash and services. Again, another example. I had a really great friend who's actually an associate producer of the film now, but he and his brother loaned transportation services, and this would be, to help, like, to move the cast and the actors and stuff and the crew and the equipment from location to location. Again, that would probably cost $1,500 or whatever, right? And that's money that we would have to raise, like money we would have to raise to actually pay somebody to do that. But instead they're saying, hey, we love this movie, this idea, we want to support it, so we're going to loan you guys this service, maybe like for a credit, like put our name in company name in the movie or something, like in the movie credits, right? So again, if I'm at 16.5 and he came on and said we're going to do transportation, then that would take our number to what, 18,000? I think I'm sleepy right now, y'all. 18, yes, $18,000. You see what I'm saying? So we were able to we had transportation, a makeup artist, and 2 production assistants, which is really good. These are people who are donating their time and services to this movie, this film, and that's money that we didn't have to raise, like physical cash money. So final number, it says that we raised $21,100, but it was only $16,600, I believe, in cash, actual cash. So it looks like, oh, well, what happened to the other 4,000, whatever. That was in loan, that was in crew members, that was in people that donated and loaned their service, okay? So make sure you understand that, because if not, you're gonna be like, wait, what? Also, what they don't tell you is there's a lot of fees that will come out of that final number. This number is coming out of the cash, right? So 16,600, I think that's what it was, minus the client charges. I know at the end we had about 8 decline charges. By the way, if you're watching this and you're one of those people, you have the link. You can always resubmit your payment information and send us that money, because it will help us while we're in production, seriously. But again, that's deducted out of that money. The client charges, they're gonna take the taxes. They're also gonna take platform fee. And they're also, for me, because I hired a crowdfunding consultant company, I paid them a fee up front, but they also get a percentage of the final amount. So I know for us, it took us about $15,500 or something like that. After taxes, platform fee, decline charges, yeah. And then that final amount, that's where the crowdfunding campaign company, they took their percentage out of that amount. So our final, it says we raised $21,100, but our final number, the final check that the crowdfunding company cut to Lulu B Productions was $13,684. That's a big difference from $21,000 to $100. See what I'm saying? And I believe in full transparency, because you got people be like, oh, what happened to the money? I thought you raised $20,000. And listen, there's this saying in Hollywood, which I didn't know until I started raising money, but you never use your personal funds. Like some people will take out credit cards and loans and all that stuff. Never do that. So let me just say, this is my only petty moment. I didn't need the money personally, so it wasn't for me. It's to make this movie. Let me just say that, okay? Because this money was not going to me. It's to make this movie. That didn't mean I ain't have my own personal money. And honestly, I paid for the crowdfunding fee, the initial fee, out of pocket. And that was some thousands of dollars. So let me just put that out there. That came out of my own pocket, personal funds, okay? But that's my investment into the movie, which people would never know how much I actually paid to actually get all of this started. I had to pay to make the pitch video, I had to pay with the photographer, videographer, the photos. It's a lot that goes into it, and just to create this campaign. So keep that in mind. You want to start saving up. That's another thing. You definitely want to start saving up, because it's not cheap to do this. But like if you have a videographer friend, then they're gonna probably do it for free for you. I didn't have that. Everything I got and did, I paid for out of pocket. So the final number that we have to produce this film is $13,684. There's a $70 thing here because somebody gave $50 and somebody gave $20 at the end of the campaign. And so I deposited that into the account toward the final amount as well. So there you go. Do's and don'ts that I learned while raising over $20,000 crowdfunding toward my first indie film. I hope that helps. I really do. I love to share my experience. So, you know, I didn't have anybody tell me what to look forward to, and like, you know, like on a personal level, of course, like I read the information, but like when you actually go through it, it just, I think it makes you a better person. Definitely more patient, okay? Oh God, seriously. But guess what, y'all? We are making a movie. So stay tuned for the next vlog. I'm gonna tell you guys where we are in terms of actually producing this film. All right? Thank you so much to those of you guys who did contribute on my YouTube channel. Appreciate your support and love. And I'm back. We're making a movie. See you soon.